If you're wondering why your marketing feels so hard, it might be because you're not utilizing your personality strengths. And it's time that we start really embracing our own unique personalities and styles and stop trying to force our marketing in somebody else's method. So I want to talk today about why it's so important to switch things up and make sure that you are promoting your products and services, building your business in a way that's aligned and suited to you based on your personality, your strengths, and your preferences. Because at the end of the day, we are all unique, right? Every single one of us are unique, and your business is too. And so it's time to get those things, making sure they're really connected and aligned so it feels easier and more fun to do. And that's going to have a knock-on effect on your business results too. Why is it that we kind of get caught up in doing things that aren't suited for us? I mean, one of the things can be is that we have trends. We kind of follow along with things that seem to be popular because we think that might be that magic fix. Sometimes we see somebody that we look up to, could be some kind of leader in the industry, a friend, a peer, somebody who's had great results. And so we try their method because it worked for them. But then oftentimes you try it out, but you realize that it's not working and you can't figure out why. And a lot of the time it's because it's not a fit for you. And so rather than trying to force ourselves, imagine trying to put a square peg into a round hole, it's just not going to go, right? It's going to be practically impossible. And so now more than ever, I think people are wanting to really find ways that can embrace their uniqueness and individualities. Because when you fall in the trap of trying to do what somebody else does and it works for them, you lose part of you, and that misalignment can have a huge knock-on effect. So it's time to break free of that mold, and let's start looking at what you can do and what changes you might make in order to get your marketing not only feeling good, but working better. So what's the cost of neglecting your personality traits in how you're marketing your business? The reality is this can have a huge knock-on effect. Not only can you be leaving money on the table and missing out on sales and leads and other things, but more than that, there's this misalignment. You're not connecting authentically with yourself, and that comes across then with your audience. And so you can be missing out on opportunities, not building up those relationships because you're trying to do other methods that aren't a fit for you and attracting your ideal people. And that can have a knock-on effect. It can show up with you not wanting to create the marketing content, It comes up in resistance, in you feeling a bit yucky and a bit icky, in you just not wanting to do it. And even if you're not fully aware of some of that resistance, it's there on a subconscious level. And so the energy and that misalignment internally and subconsciously can come out in you actually repelling people, or it just shows that it's not the best fit for you. You're not as excited about it. And so when that energy is lower and that disconnect is there, it comes out in multiple ways. When it feels misaligned, it feels hard. And when it feels hard, you don't want to do it. And so then it means your consistency drops, and then that has a knock-on effect. So all of these things, it's like dominoes. It all has an effect on each other. So let's look at what we can do and how you might make some simple shifts in what you're doing to correct that. So if this new method was really embracing your personality traits, so these are your natural strengths, your preferences, the way that you love to do things, is going to have such a huge impact on your confidence and your business too. Because firstly, you're going to enjoy it more. When you enjoy it more, then it feels easier. Your confidence grows, your excitement grows. You might even reignite that passion if you felt like that's kind of gone up your ass a bit and it's flown out the window. By actually just shifting how you're doing things, you can suddenly feel excited again because it feels easier. And that's what we want. We all want business and everything to feel easier. So instead of trying to forcing against this resistance pull all the time, instead, let's shift to the other way around. So you're going in this nice natural flow. And so when you embrace as well your strengths, again, that's going to come out in your confidence. your energy levels will rise. As I said, your excitement will grow. But if you are doing any methods, if that's right for you, where you're speaking, people can hear you, you're doing videos, your energy levels are going to be so much higher that energy is going to ooze out of you. Or even if it's in writing, again, like I can tell when I've been writing something in a really great mood and from a good energy perspective, because it comes out on paper, in writing. So however you choose to do things, it will come out in your energy, your confidence, and your excitement. And that's going to make you more attractive, more magnetic, because when your energy is higher and everything is elevated, people are going to see that or hear it or tell it. Again, depending on however you're doing things, that's going to come across and people are going to feel that extra energy. And that just makes you more magnetic. It's going to help you speak directly to your ideal customers in the right way, because now you're either speaking the same language, or again, because you're aligned and you're confident and you're feeling excited, all of that comes out. And as a result, you can build those stronger connections and you can have these ideal people that just feel like you get them and becomes more effective, which then leads into higher conversions. You're going to build your audience. You're going to build those connections. You're going to tell your story in your way, and then it's going to help you to grow the sales and your revenue. So it's a win-win situation for both you as the creator, and that's going to come across to your audience too. I want to give you a couple of examples. So suppose you are a really outgoing person who just loves socializing, talking with people. Now, one of the things that can happen is those types of people might get caught up in lots of conversations. It might be lots of DMs or just trying to talk with everybody. And while they love that, there might be some issues with feeling a bit exhausted and getting burnt out because there's lots of conversations and things happening. And so instead, that person might love what they're doing, but they may not have any systems that actually take the load off. And so we don't want people to feel burnt out. So for this type of person, they can embrace that superpower by engaging with people in those kind of live environments with like live videos, maybe some challenges and things like that, and really creating that sense of community through things like live video, talking with people in real time and other things like that. So their personality is going to magnetize the people that enjoy that live interaction. But there's some things that they can do to then streamline things in the back end, creating some simple systems, using some automation to take care of people. So they're not getting burnt out in trying to do the whole journey for them in those live interactions. But on the other hand, you might have somebody who's more sort of introverted or more analytical thinking, who doesn't enjoy video, doesn't like a lot of socializing. They love data and geeking out on the numbers. And so for them, they can really tap into that strength and that skill by using things like data-driven campaigns. They can use things like paid advertising, anything where you get to really geek out on numbers, but you get to then make decisions. You can split test, you can create campaigns, you can tweak things based on facts and numbers. And that's going to improve their marketing. And so it becomes fun when you can geek out on numbers, if that's the stuff that you enjoy. But again, it's making sure that you have some of those pieces in place so you're not just getting stuck in numbers with no real intention and purpose. And then for any of their customers who also love numbers, they can share content about the numbers and things that they have been playing with. But equally, they can still meet other people. Just because you're one personality trait doesn't mean that you're only going to be dealing with that same personality trait. But it's about how you get your message out into the world in a way that really suits you from the creation standpoint, and creating different parts of the process of your marketing and sales system that also aligns with what you like, but that can be proven to keep things growing, keep things moving, so that you are having a consistent stream of new people coming in, that you're generating leads, and then you're converting those people into, loyal, raving fans and buyers. So however you decide to do things, whatever type of personality you are and the things that you like to focus on, I want you to just think to yourself and ask yourself, is there anything that I'm feeling some resistance to? Are there some things that I'm doing that I just know deep down aren't quite a fit? And what might be something you could do instead? And if you're wondering about what those things might be, or what parts of this of your marketing system do you need to make sure that you're covering to keep things growing and moving all the time, I've created a minimal marketing system. So this ensures that whatever you're doing, if you're covering one of these 4 core areas, you know that you're keeping your business moving and growing in the right direction. And those 4 areas are traffic, audience attraction, list growth, and conversion. So if you can design your own marketing and sales system and process that fits with your personality and can cover those 4 areas as a base, if that's kind of all you do, as that core base, then you know that you're on to a winner. So I've created a great free resource for you that you can go and download now for free that's going to really help you bring these 2 things together. So I took the kind of 4 core different personality types. So I've got the introvert, social bunny, the analytical person, and the creative. And I have actually created some example minimal marketing systems. So you can choose just one piece from each of those areas that's a right fit for you and your personality that is going to just help make things feel good for you. It's going to make things easier, and you're covering all of those 4 areas. So can take the guesswork out of knowing what to do, what things you might do for your personality. And I've kind of given you some done for you systems that you can try out and then put into practice. So if you'd like to kind of get rid of that cookie cutter approach or generic marketing and do things your way in more alignment for you, then definitely go and download that resource. There'll be a link or a button or somewhere around this episode and this video. You can go and download that now and put it into practice. Give it enough time. And obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. But when you do work more in alignment, everything can change. It can feel so much better. You can get into such a better flow and higher energy, and everything can just feel like they come together because you're now working in your human design, in your specific individual needs. And that's just going to have a great impact across the board. And just remember, you are amazing as you are. You don't have to be anybody else. You don't have to try and fit somebody else's mold. And however you like to do things and whatever your preferences are, there will be something for you. So embrace your uniqueness, embrace your quirks and weirdness and being however you are. Because the fact that you're running a business shows that you've got drive, you've got ambition. You're not going to just follow the crowd and be in that 9-to-5 job. You want better. You want more for yourself in your life. So make it fun. Make things easier for yourself and see what might be a fit for you. And if you want to have a chat about anything, if you need any help with it, do reach out. I'm here to help you. But go and download that free resource, and I'd love to hear which personality type you are and which things you might choose to put into practice. And then give it some time, and then you can come back and you can feed it back to me, because I love to hear how you take things and how you run with it. So let your personality shine, my friend. I can't wait to see it, and I hope you found this useful. Do feel free to share the love with anybody else that you think might find this useful. Share any comments and any takeaways, and I look forward to seeing you next time.